Hi, welcome to vRealize Operations Federation Management Pack deployment video. In this video, we are going to go through the steps of deploying a vRealize Operations Federation Management Pack. With vRealize Operations Federation Management Pack, you can unify your multi-site vROps deployment into a single pane of glass. You can instantiate a deployment of vROps with the capability of receiving key metrics for specified objects from other vRealize operations deployments in your environment. What you're seeing right now is the VMware Solution Exchange page on which we have vRealize Operations Federation Management Pack posted. From here, you can go ahead and download the vRealize Operations Federation Management Pack. You can also look at the technical specifications of the pack along with the compatibility. The vRealize Operations Management Pack is compatible with vROps version 6.6 and above. You can also review resources such as documentation, and the main resource over here on this page would be the user guide. If you look at the user guide, it clearly states the requirements of deploying the vRealize Operations Management Pack for Federation. At the same time, it also talks about the deployment architecture and sizing best practices around how you should size your Federation instance of vRealize operations. Today, we are going to deploy a fresh vROps instance and configure it. And on top of that instance of vROps, we will deploy the Federation Management Pack. Here, I have a newly deployed instance of vROps 6.6.1. We'll go ahead and configure this instance by selecting this as a new installation. I'll go ahead and click on Next to form a new vROps cluster with this single node. I'll give it a username and password. In case you have a custom certificate, then you can install it, else you can use the default certificate available with vROps. Then it is required for you to go ahead and give a name to your master node. Your Federation Management Pack instance of vROps could be a multi-node deployment. If you want to do a single node deployment or a multi-node deployment, you can decide that based on sizing. Once you have sized the environment, the first node which you deploy will always be a master node. In this case, we are going to name it the following. We need to add a NTP server address and click on Next. We'll click on Finish for the Federation vROps instance to configure and automatically come to the admin page. At this moment, I will pause the video for the configuration to finish. Now that the configuration of the host is completed, I'm automatically landed onto the admin UI. We will go ahead and use the admin credentials to log in to this page. Once you log in, you will see that the system or the cluster has not started. At this moment, if you need to add more nodes to your configuration, you should deploy and configure them as you do it with your normal vRealize Operations Manager instance. Since in my deployment I only have a single node, I will go ahead and start the vRealize Operations Manager cluster. You need to go ahead and confirm the first time application setup. I'll go ahead and click on Yes to start the setup. Now that I have clicked on Yes, my only node in this cluster is going online, and at this moment we will pause the video and wait for this configuration to finish. Alright, our vROps instance is deployed. You can see that it is online. We will go ahead and log into the product UI now. Okay, and we are getting a pop-up to go ahead and set it up and accept the license agreement. Go ahead and click on Next. Accept the EULA. Click on Next. And then we have to enter the product key. At this moment, I will run this in the evaluation mode. However, for you to run the vROps Federation Management Pack on top of your vROps instance, you should at least have vROps Advanced Edition or above from a licensing perspective. Make sure to join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program and click on Next and Finish. Once you click on Finish, it will go ahead and load up the UI and point you directly to the administration page to go ahead and configure solutions. In a general vROps instance, you will actually go ahead and configure the solution by adding vCenters to your vROps instance. But remember, this is vROps for Federation, and hence we will not configure any of the solutions available on this page for Federation. We will have to add a new management pack which will help you run federations. In order to get that management pack, you will go ahead to the marketplace where you have the vRealize Operations Federation Management Pack and go ahead and try the solution to go ahead and download the Federation Management Pack. I have already downloaded that pack in my instance, in my case, and hence I will just go ahead and click on the Add button to install the management pack. Once you click on the Add button, you would need to browse to the downloaded location of the management pack, which is this one in my case, and click on Open. Check the boxes on Install the pack even when it's already installed and reset out of the box content. Go ahead and accept the warning and click on Upload. Once you click on Upload, the system will upload the management pack onto the node so that it can be staged for deployment. The upload is finished, and you can see that the management pack is being staged right now for deployment. We'll give it a moment while it stages the management pack and then proceed with the deployment. We'll go ahead and pause the audio at this moment. Okay, the management pack is staged and ready to install. You can confirm the details of the management pack and make sure that the pack signature is valid. And once that happens, go ahead and click on Next. Go ahead and accept the EULA and click on Next. Now the installation has started. It takes around 5 to 7 minutes for the management pack to be deployed on your vROps instance. If you have multi-node, this time might increase. We'll go ahead and wait for this management pack to be deployed, and once it's deployed, we will start the configuration of the management pack to add vROps instances which I want to monitor through this management pack. I'll go ahead and pause the video for this installation to finish. Alright, you have finished installing the management pack for Federation on your newly deployed vROps instance. Click on the Finish button to go ahead and configure the vRealize Operations Federation Management Pack. Once you click on Finish, you would still see the installing solution adapter message on the top. We'll wait for this message to complete and then go ahead and configure the management pack. Now you can see that we have the vROps Federation adapter installed on this instance of vROps and have a description of what this adapter can do. This adapter is designed for collecting user-specified objects, kinds, and attributes from remote vROps clusters. To configure this management pack, click on the Configure icon, and now you're presented with the management pack configuration dialog box. In this dialog box, you will go ahead and give a display name for the vROps which you want to monitor through the Federation vROps instance. In my case, I want to monitor one of my instances of vROps whose IP address is 10.197.11.243. I can give it a name and convention. For example, this one is running in Palo Alto. And based on your design of Federation, you can give the instance a name so that it is easily recognized in your Federation instance. Let me just call it Palo Alto with this IP address. Once you've given the host IP address of vROps, which could be the direct IP address of any of your hosts in your child deployments, or it could be also the virtual IP of your load balancer through which you've configured accessing your vROps instances. In this case, I'm putting the IP address of the master node since I have just one node in the 10.197.11.243 deployment. Then I need to enter the name of the configuration file. Configuration file is something which allows you to go ahead and manage what objects and properties of given objects or given adapter instances you want to collect from the federation instance of your vROps deployment. By default, VMware ships with a configuration file by the name of federation_config. Later in this video, I'll show you how you can access this file and make changes to it or create your own new file and add that to an adapter instance. The credential over here is the credential for your vROps instance from which you're trying to collect the data. It could be a read-only user or the admin credential. In my case, I will use the vROps admin credential just for this demo purpose. You will go ahead and click on Test Connection to make sure that you're getting the certificate warning, and once you accept the certificate, it should go ahead and connect to your vROps instance. It is successful. I'll click on OK and click on Save Settings. As soon as I click on Save Settings, the adapter instance is saved and I can click on the Close button, or I can continue adding other vROps instances which I want to monitor. For this demo purposes, I will add one more instance quickly to go ahead and monitor through this federation instance of vROps. I'll click on the plus sign and add the instance running in London to this vROps instance as well. The configuration file would be the default file, which is federation_config. This is case sensitive and hence the name should be put as mentioned on this video on this page. I will add the credential for the second vROps instance. And it's explaining that the same credential is available. So I will just add another name to this. Click on OK. Okay, the test was successful and I've added my London vROps into my federation instance as well. Let me just click on Save Settings to ensure that I've saved my configuration. Okay, and click on Close. Now that I've configured both the adapter instances, you can see that I'm already receiving data from Palo Alto. It might take up to 5 minutes for me to get data from the London vROps instance. I could also have chosen to add remote collectors in this instance to collect this data from the other vROps instances. In case you have long distance between your federation as well as your federated vROps instances, then it's recommended to use a remote collector. If you do not want to use a remote collector, it is recommended that you increase the collection cycle from 5 minutes to 15 minutes, as this would ensure that your collection is not impacted by any network latency you might have between the sites. To do that, you can follow the documentation which is available with the Federation Management Pack, which allows you to change the collection interval for a given site. I'll just go ahead and refresh the page, and you can see now I'm receiving data from both the instances. Once I've deployed the Federation Management Pack, the first place to see the output coming from the Federation Management Pack would be the dashboards. Once I click on dashboards, you will see all the out-of-the-box dashboards which are available with the standard vROps instance. But since this instance is only used for Federation, you should click on the Getting Started Federation dashboard, which is available out of the box. Once you click on Getting Started Federation, you can quickly get a view of all the use cases and the associated dashboards to those use cases. At the same time, you can see the Federation deployment map, where you can see you have a Federation instance which is monitoring the vROps instance in Palo Alto and a vROps instance in London. Let's quickly step through the various use cases available within these dashboards. The first category is called the infrastructure operations. Under infrastructure operations, you can see two dashboards. The first one provides a summary of operations, and the second one provides a list of all the alerts triggered across all the federated instances, and look at the second use case of infrastructure capacity. Within infrastructure capacity, we have a couple of summary dashboards. The first one provides the compute and storage capacity details of data centers and their clusters, and the second one provides a summary of capacity optimization opportunities across all the data centers and clusters. The third category under the Getting Started Federation dashboard is called infrastructure configuration. If you click on this option, you will see two dashboards with associated use cases. The first one is first dashboard provides an overview of key configurations across all the vSphere clusters across environments. And the second one provides the key configuration details of and versions of vSphere hosts across all your environments. The last but not the least is the category of SDDC health and configuration. When you click on this category, you will see a single dashboard which provides an overview of health and configuration of your SDDC instances. In order to populate this dashboard, it is important that your child vROps instances have SDDC Management Pack 3.0 installed so that we can aggregate the health of all your SDDC applications up to the federation layer. It completes the demonstration of how to install a vROps Federation adapter and configure a vROps Federation adapter for monitoring multiple vROps instances in your environment. In the next video, we will talk about the dashboards available with vROps Federation adapter and what use cases are solved with those specific dashboards. Thank you for watching this video. You have a great day.